The Babolat RBEL Pickleball Paddle offers core control with just the right amount of power. Its wide body shape and 16mm polypropylene core delivers stability and precision when you need it most. Focused on dependable results, the RBEL is built for players who value control and balanced performance over flash. Brittany and I were on the playtest for this Babolat paddle. What'd you think?
Well, thanks, William. I think that this RBEL actually surprised me a little bit. I have play tested several Babolat paddles in the past, so I kind of had a baseline of what to expect. And even though this isn't technically my preferred shape, I like the more elongated, this more compact shape, I was able to adjust to actually fairly quickly, and I was able to get on the court and start playing.
Yeah, nothing about this paddle appealed to me on paper. The shape, the thickness, the color. So when I first started hitting with it, I was pleasantly surprised. Fast forward to now, I actually was doing really well with this paddle and completely 180'd my opinion of it. I judged the book by its cover. Now there was the RBEL Power and the RBEL Touch previously, and I feel like Babolat did a great job at taking the control and power elements from both and putting it into this paddle. I feel like this is a control paddle. However, I don't want to diminish the element of power it did offer. All areas of the court, I got the control I needed, maybe not as much as I thought the Selkirk Lux might have given me, but when I wanted to put power behind my shots, it was also there. I felt like I was putting good pressure against my opponents. What did you think about power and control?
Yeah, I had a similar experience. I thought Babolat did a great job of balancing the power and control. With the 16mm, it is a more control-oriented paddle, which I liked, but I did have access to that power like you alluded to when I was trying to go for my shot. So I liked how I could really be aggressive with my shots and have the control that I needed, but still that little bit of extra oomph when I was trying to put the ball away. And now when it came to spin, I thought there was an increase in spin from the previous generation. I was able to nicely get some shape on the ball, hit some nice dippers at the feet, get some good serves that were getting deep and kind of dropping right in front of the baseline. However, if compared to everything on the market, I'd say it's kind of right in the mid-tier, maybe a little bit less than the top tier, but still a great experience.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with the spin, but I don't feel like the spin really was any story to it, so I don't have much to say in that regard. When it comes to the stability, forgiveness, the maneuverability story, I felt like the maneuverability was huge. In fact, I was finding myself ahead of the ball sometimes because I'm so used to an elongated paddle. And so if you play with an elongated paddle, you need to kind of account for a half second extra for getting to those shots. The stability when I was getting shots off center, out of the sweet spot, super stable, one of the most stable paddles I've ever hit with. And I want to say one of my biggest problems with it was when I was taking pace off of drives aimed at my body, put the paddle in front of me, trying to take the pace off, and the ball would just completely die. Wouldn't pop over the net, it would just completely die. So that was interesting to see. Now when it comes to feel, I felt connected to my shots. There was a decent amount of vibration dampening there. And then with the sound is a little higher tone than what I'm kind of used to right now. So I had a little bit of adjustment there. What did you think about the whole stability forgiveness story?
Well, I'm going to agree with you on some points and maybe have a slightly different opinion on others. For maneuverability, absolutely agree. I felt it was really quick. I was actually just playing yesterday and we were having some really quick kind of reflex volley points, and I felt like I was right in it. Like I almost had too much, like I was ahead of the ball, like you were saying, in too much time. So I really liked that aspect of the paddle. When it came to stability, I'm going to slightly disagree with you. I thought that inside the sweet spot, which is, I'd say, a fairly generous sweet spot, I was getting nice power, and I could tell when I was hitting in the sweet spot. And then there was a couple times when I'd be playing and I was a little bit outside. It definitely lets you know when you're outside, and I felt there was a little bit of drop of power there, maybe almost a little bit of a dead feeling. And then when it came to feel, wasn't my favorite feel, but this is more of a personal preference. I still felt very connected to the ball. I really liked how I was able to execute my third shot drops, which isn't normally my strength, but I've been trying to get better and better at those. And I even got a couple nice, when I'm dinking, I've been really trying to do more like a rolled angle dink versus like a little touch shot. So I was able to generate some nice feel and touch off those. Now, what did you think of the grip?
Maybe this is where we differ on the stability story. I kind of liked the grip. I think at this price point, it's pretty decent. Would have liked a little bit more length and just a little bit more circumference. But again, considering I had so much success with it, I really can't knock the grip.
Yeah, I liked the grip. I thought it felt a good premium grip, maybe because Babolat has some tennis background. I felt that it was nice in hand feeling. Again, I do have a two-handed backhand, so I want a little bit of extra space, and that's where the elongated shape gives me some extra space. And then one other thing I wanted to comment is I always like to look at the durability at the end of the play test. I can be pretty hard on my paddles, and with this nice bumper guard, besides seeing a couple scuffs, I think I have a lot of life left in this paddle.
Agree, I'm not seeing a lot of wear on the paddle I've been hitting with as well. Now overall, like I said, didn't go into this play test very well, but I came out with it completely surprised. I just had a lot of success with it, and I can't really deny that. So I have to give kudos to Babolat for making a pretty solid paddle. Considering the price point at where it's at, I think it's slightly overvalued for what it is, but I would probably recommend this for beginner to intermediate level players. I think they would find good success with it.
Overall, for me, while not being a fan of the compact shape, I actually really did like this paddle in that aspect. I thought it played really well from all areas of the court. For its performance and price, I do feel like it was pretty fair. I feel like it kind of falls in the mid-tier, not the top tier, but definitely above a beginner level. So I would recommend it to players who are intermediate, maybe have already bought their first paddle and are looking for a step up to really improve their game, maybe going into some leagues or some tournament play. So I think that wraps up this play test of the Babolat RBEL. For more information on any Babolat paddles, please visit us at pickleballwarehouse.com or down under at totalpickleball.com.au.